What's going on, guys? I'm back here today. We're going to be making a video over a plane that's still in a box. If you guys saw my Flight Fest video when I made a video at Flight Fest, because I actually got to go this year, you probably heard me say something about another plane, which is not the plane that you guys have already seen from Flex Innovations, the Mamba 10. Some good footage there. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But I got another plane from Flex Innovations before I got that plane. And that's this plane. If you're not confused already, then good, because you're not going to get any more confused. I'm about to tell you this is the Cessna 170 from Flex Innovations. It is a massive plane, and it is a huge box that it comes in, because it's a huge plane. Absolutely fantastic. I'll get it out of the box for you guys so you can check it out a little bit better. Okay, so here we go. The box out of the other box, and it's actually got some markings on top. It's got the 60 sized, what is that, 540 kV motor, huge motor. Comes with, what is that, 80 amp ESC with a 5 volt BEC, 8 amp BEC. I don't think I've ever seen anything that's 8 amp BEC, but this thing has so much going all over it that's going to need a little bit more to control receiver and servo and everything. It's got the metal gear servos for flaps, ailerons, elevator, and rudder. It's got a glider tow mechanism already installed on the plane. It can go from 4-cell to 6-cell lithium polymer batteries. Yeah, I almost said lithium ion. And then they just recommend a charger of some sort. Potenza is what they usually sell, but I've got the ISDT, and there's a truck coming by right now. And now it's going away. Anyway, that's kind of a gist of what you get with the box. So now we're going to break this sucker open and show you what's inside. Okay, so this is the open box. This is what you see when you finally pull the front panel off. And it's a lot of stuff, and it's way bigger than I remembered. But it's no fun to look at if it's not out of all the styrofoam and everything. So we are going to start pulling it out, and I'm going to start with the wheels, because that's what's fun. Okay, this is the Cessna 170 wheel, and this is how big it is. These are my hands, large man hands, and that's a wheel. Trying to think of if you guys have ever seen those little China saucers, little plates. This is about half an inch, about an inch bigger in diameter than those little plates. It's a massive wheel, and it's made of a hard foam compound. So I mean, it's softish, but it's not so soft that it's stupid soft. Honestly, I kind of like it. It'd be great if it was a little bit softer, but it's awesome otherwise. And then there's another one behind it, because airplanes have 3 wheels, but 2 big ones up front. So anyway, there's the wheels. I'm going to go ahead and just continue pulling everything out here, and you guys just enjoy this time lapse. Okay, after getting it all out of the box, you can see it won't even fit on my table here. The wings are up over here by the wall. Fuselage, airframe, everything like that. We got the elevators here. Massive elevators, because it's a massive plane. I'm going to say massive a lot because that's just who I am. I keep saying the same word all the time. But I love the interlocking connection here. Flex does it on the Mamba too. But they just slide in together like that, and it makes it super easy for both the elevators to move as one. It's just awesome. And it also has the elevator spar right here, so you can, make sure you don't fold your elevators up, crash the plane, because that would be disappointing. And then I love what they did with the wing supports. Instead of having screws to hold everything in, It's just clips. Simple clips, just like you'd find like to hold the body on a RC car. That's all they use, with pins and clips. So, I mean, transportation is made easy with this, with 4 screws on the top of the plane to take off the wings, and you just remove one, or you can remove the entire support beam here and remove it just by clips, and then you're good to go. So you can just toss multiple pieces in the back of your pickup or your car or on the train or wherever you can fit a massive disassembled plane, and you can just take it with you. Sort of. It's really big. I can't stress that enough. Here's the prop. Prop is a 16 by 6 electric prop. It's actually got some flex to it. It's not super hard. It's not made out of carbon fiber or anything. And I really like that. And it's a really big, awesome prop. So that's why it flies so great. All the 3D maneuvers it can do can be done with that prop. This rudder, this is a rudder control surface. I'm assuming it has to be glued on because there's no other way to put it on. Probably they suggest most likely 30-minute epoxy. I'll get into that later. But this is your rudder control surface. Control horn is also where you bolt the tail wheel on. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into the rest of it. We're going to start assembling, and I'll just do a time lapse of that. So you guys enjoy this. Okay, so apparently I was wrong. The rudder control surface actually is not, put on the fuselage with 30-minute epoxy, but instead you can use medium CA. And it says that foam safe CA is not required. And I've got 2 bottles of, I just got 1 bottle of medium CA in the house. So I'm gonna go get that, and we'll just keep this awesome video rolling. Medium CA. Okay, so the way the instructions tell you to do it is you're supposed to lay the fuselage on its side and then apply a healthy amount of CA to either or. You can apply it to the control surface, or you can apply it to the point where the control surface meets the plane. I just did it on the fuselage itself, on the vertical stabilizer. But medium CA, and then after you get the healthy amount on there, you just press the control surface down into the places where it needs to be, and it's got grooves cut and little insets. It sets right down in exactly where it's supposed to be. Just make sure it's firmly planted and leave it like that until you know the glue's cured. So as that cures, dries, and sets, I am going to continue on with some of the other simple, setup stuff. I'll probably build up the landing gear, and by the time I get the landing gear built, I'll be able to finish up the tail wheel, and I'll get it all installed. So here we go. So, on the landing gear, it comes with these little metal bushings or collars or whatever you want to call them. And these are actually spacers for the wheels on the landing gear, because you don't really want it rubbing up against the plastic. And also it helps it to spin, because if it was just on the plastic, it would cause a lot more friction and resistance. So these are there as a middleman to help the wheels spin freely so that they don't bind up in landing or takeoff or anything like that. So don't get confused about those. Don't throw them off to the side. Don't throw them away, because they're very important. Okay, I had to cut the time lapse there a little bit, and I got distracted doing some other stuff. My family showed up. But anyway, as you can see, the landing gear's on, and if you have seen the flight test video of them reviewing this plane, kind of flying it around a little bit, Josh Bixler says something about the tail wheel on this plane, and I just had to do that too. Because the tail wheel, when you first install it, it's actually bent down more straight like that. just sitting there. And it makes it hard. It's not much of a dampener, really, if you do that. So it's got a little bit of a, like almost a 45-degree bend in it. If you just straighten that out, it brings that wheel back to where now it's nice and bouncy. And when you land, it'll actually cushion it instead of jolting the rudder a little bit before it actually breaks back and does the spring action. But anyway, other than that, beautiful setup. The landing gear looks good on it, and we're just going to keep going as good as we can. You know, we're just going to keep putting it all together. So here we go again. Okay, so as you saw, I just put the prop on, but in the instructions it talks about getting a wrench or something, you know. I never have a wrench with me. I never carry one with me because pliers are more versatile. So I always carry a pair of long handle farm pliers because you can use this intersection here just as good as any crescent wrench. And now it's more than a wrench. You can use it for just about anything else. But I always separate it, especially for bigger nuts like this one had. Separate it out into the second slot so that it's not super small, and you can grab onto that nut and turn it without a problem. It doesn't hurt it or anything. So just so you guys know, long pair of CTCO long handle pliers. Works great. So here's another thing I give mad props to Flex Innovations about, because they make the tail assembly on a plane like this and the Mamba 10 super easy. And they did it the same with both of them. But they give you 4 little pieces of blue paper with adhesive tape on them. First they kind of look like clear decals and you're like, what the heck are these for? But it's actually tape. And you're supposed to use it, you take and you put it right here on the seam between the foam and the plastic of your horizontal stabilizer, and that's actually what holds the pieces together. There's no gluing, you don't have to put a bunch of screws in. You just slap this tape down on there, top and bottom, make sure it's in there firm, and it flies great. And I actually feel comfortable doing this because it seems like it's got a pretty good amount of sticky to it. So, awesome way to do that. Flex Innovations is amazing. You guys probably saw my last video of the Mamba 10 flying around, me talking about Flex Innovations. I love this company because they're amazing. So, I'm going to continue the build. You guys just keep going. Okay, now the tail assembly is all done. Everything's put together. Servo horns are connected to the servo rods and everything, you know, control horns and everything. And I mean, it's just ready back there and up in the nose. Landing gear's on. Pretty much the only thing I've got to do now is slap the wings on, bind up a receiver, and give it a test. So anyway, we'll finish this up real quick, and we'll see what comes next. Okay, so after some troubleshooting, I've finally made it out to the airport for one of the maiden flights. I've actually flown it before already, but we've got my flaps programmed with the Extreme Live Wing file, so they act as ailerons, and we're all ready to go. I've got Brooks out here. He's going to help me do some video capture, and got his son with us too. So I think we're ready. I'm going to let you guys ride on the tail of this beast, and hope you guys just enjoy the flight. So let's get going. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed all the footage I got for you guys. The Cessna 170 from Flex Innovations is absolutely amazing. It's way more than powerful. It's got way more than enough power, and it does better 3D than my Vision Air. And the Vision Air was designed by a 3D pilot. Flex Innovations is amazing. So, if you guys are looking into any kind of thing from Flex Innovations, I know it's a bit expensive, but I do give a thumbs up to the Cessna 170. Maybe 500 bucks, but it's also 7 foot and it's a massive powerhouse. So definitely think about getting that. Also, the extra 300 is something else I plan on getting maybe, but I may get the Ventique 60, which is a bigger 3D plane. But also, if you're looking into a biplane, the Mamba 10 is also amazing. It's an actual 3D plane and it does very well. I plan on upgrading to 4-cell on it. But without further ado, I'm going to end this video so you guys can stop thinking that I'm a terrible person. So, you guys keep it real.